some of these guys, from California, South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, and you brought all that weather with you, so thank you. It's going to be a great day for a Bulldog victory tomorrow, but here tonight, by the way, I love the uniforms. Talk about simplicity. Either they just love simplicity or couldn't afford any letters on the uniform. We didn't have any name on the uniform. But I love that. I love the simplicity of it. Great pictures, and obviously the first video, Boyd King. So the Truman State University Athletics Hall of Fame was established 40 years ago this year, in 1983, and Coach Boyd King was in that inaugural class of recipients, and since then we've been enshrining and recognizing some of the most accomplished student athletes and coaches in the school's long and rich athletics tradition. But not until 2006 did we start to consider teams. It had always been individual. We thought, well, a lot of times, great individuals, but obviously we've had a lot of great teams where not every individual is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So we started recognizing teams, and this has been 3 years in the making. This year, our inductee is our 2023 inductee is the 1970-71 men's basketball team. So as Jim Magruder knows, this is about 3 years in the making, because really we were going to do this as part of a 50-year reunion in 2021 for that team, but obviously with COVID, and so I feel like, I got pages and pages of emails from Jim, and we've been planning this for years, so I really want to thank Jim and obviously doing that. But a little bit about that team, and then we'll introduce the players, and then we'll hear from them. So this team, like I said, was under the leadership of legendary basketball coach Boyd King. It was going to be his 25th and last year as coach. Here he's still the winningest coach in school history. And, I don't know why that it was, because, the previous year they were 11-13, 1-9 in the conference. And, I heard Jim Magruder's radio interview the other day and said they returned one starter. So obviously the preseason pollsters weren't being real friendly to the 70-71 team to do that, and you know how they started out the season? They lost 106-77 to Quincy. Is that right? I saw that on the schedule. That's what it said on the schedule.
We can't remember that.
Yeah. We're not going to say what Coach Boyd said after that game. But obviously, the tide turned, because we wouldn't be here tonight 53 years later and talking about this great team. So after that, they went on to win 11 of their next 13 games. They went on to win their first Missouri Intercollegiate Athletics Association Conference Championship, the first we had in 11 years since 1960. And this earned them the right to host the NCAA College Division Regional Tournament. Now, 70-71 was prior to, we're a Division II school now, but prior to then, there was no Division I, II, and III. That didn't come about until a few years later, so it was a university division and a college division. But this was the first time in school history they got a chance to host an NCAA regional tournament. And on first round win, they beat North Dakota State, who's now a Division I school. And then the next night, they unfortunately saw their season end in the championship game to Kentucky Wesleyan, 60-48. But really, since then, we've only had a handful of teams still go on and play in the NCAA tournament. It's not that easy to do, and for them to do that obviously was a great accomplishment. There was 3 team members that earned all MIAA honors, with first team nods going to seniors Charles Curry and Claude Wilson, and honorable mention honors were to sophomore Lou Gregory, which I think I heard Jim refer to as Sweet Lou. Is that right? Sweet Lou, all right. I'm glad you're here, Sweet Lou. And so as I mentioned, Boyd King ended his 25-year coaching career here and was named District Coach of the Year. So let's introduce the members of that team that were here tonight. When I call your name, come up and receive your award from President Thomas. First up, we have number 10, Bob Logan, who was a freshman from Seville. He's one time in Seville, Missouri. Number 20, Mike Church, who was a sophomore from Jerseyville, Illinois. Stay up there. Brian. Jim Magruder, sophomore from Oakland, Illinois. David Ritchie, junior from Sturgeon, Missouri. Bill B. Ryder, I had him down, but someone said, is Bill B. Ryder here? No, Bill, okay, Bill did not come.
Thank you.
All right. Tom Burke, senior from Clinton, Iowa. George Safrans, freshman from Palmyra, Missouri. Jim Durham, but Jim was late, he did not make it, okay. Sweet Lou Gregory from East St. Louis, Illinois. Steve Jerkins, senior from Springfield, Illinois. Terry Rigdon, freshman from Kirksville, Missouri. Did Ron make it? Ron Sturchie? Is he here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And our graduate assistant coach, Ron Sturchie. This is your 1970-71 MIAA championship and NCAA qualifying team. So to speak on behalf of the team is Jim Magruder.
Thanks, Jerry. You took most of my time. You told most of my stories, but so forgive me if I repeat it, but at this age, that happens. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Jerry. This doesn't happen without him. After a phone conversation with Coach Sims, a coach that we all love greatly, about 5 years ago, I started thinking about a 50-year reunion, just a reunion for the team. And I brought it to Jerry, and Jerry said, it's a great idea. He got on board, and unbeknownst to me, he took our team to the committee for the Hall of Fame, and we were thrilled to find out that we were approved. So this doesn't happen to you, Jerry. Thank you so much for your support. I also want to thank Stacy Tucker Porter. Stacy's back here somewhere, I think. Stacy helped me track down a lot of the players, and it's a hard thing to do. There were some we couldn't find. There were some we found that couldn't come. There are some that sadly are no longer with us, but we do have a good representation, especially at our age. I think we have a very good representation. The 73 team, 53 years ago, we were preparing for this season, and it was Coach King. We call him the Bo. It was the Bo's last season. We wanted to go out on a big win, but I got to tell you, it's going to be an uphill battle because, as Jerry said, we only returned one starter. Our front line, we're 6'3" across the front, but the team had great chemistry and a big heart, and we played smart. And although we did off to a rough start, thanks, I'd forgotten about that. We ran off 9 straight. I think we were under the radar. I think a lot of teams we just snuck up on. We won 9 straight conference games, and in the middle of all that, we had a road trip right before Christmas to Illinois State, big-time program. Doug Collins was an All-American. Some of you guys will know that name. Doug Collins is an All-American. He ended up being the number 2 pick in the NBA. He had a great career with the 76ers, and he coached Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. But Doug Collins did not have a Merry Christmas. So we shot down the Redbirds, and that shot us up the rankings, and that probably locked up our bid to be host of the regionals. And as Jerry said, we beat North Dakota State, we lost to Kentucky Wesleyan, and they went on all the way to the finals. They were a hell of a team. But it was a great season. Our stars that year, Claude and Charlie, I wish they were here with us, were great. Sweet Lou, the toughest competitor I've been with, I can tell you that. And I tell you, something else that really, really helped us, and I'm speaking to some of you people in here, our fan base was phenomenal. We packed Pershing. We played in front of packed crowds the whole night, and that helped us get to where we were. Strangely enough, in the regionals, the attendance was way down. I mean, it was maybe a third full. And a few days after, one of the local writers speculated that the attendance dropout was probably because of the lofty prices the NBA or the NCAA charged for admission. Ticket prices were $2.50. But I got to thinking about it, and it sort of makes sense, because back then you could get a draft for 25 cents and a pitcher for $1. Our players, I mean, our students may not be as smart as the students we have at Truman right now, but I guarantee they're smart enough to know that $2.50 goes a lot further to duke them in than it does I'll finish by saying, on behalf of these guys and the ones that aren't here and the ones that are no longer with us, thank you so much. Thank you to the committee. Thank you to Truman State for this honor. And it's truly an honor to be the latest and oldest team to ever be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And it is, folks, it is great to be a Bulldog. Thank you so much.